Yeah, I think it has started. Okay, so topic for today is ratio and proportion. Yes, good afternoon. Good afternoon. Okay, now first thing is understanding these two terms, which is ratio and proportion. Now, first thing, ratio is simply comparison of two or more quantities. For example, milk and water is 1:2. Correct. Now, similarly, you can have the amount of money that A, B, and C has is 1:4:3. So this is just comparison of quantities. Correct. This is ratio. Now, proportion is equating these ratios. For example, I say that the milk that I get from my milkman, which is M1 by W1, the ratio of milk and water, is same as what you get from your other milkman also. So this becomes is equals to M2 by W2. Now this ratio I tell you is 2:3. So what you are doing, you are essentially equating ratios. This is proportion. Okay, so this is ratio, this is proportion. Now a few simple concepts. First thing is combined ratio. Okay, now combined ratio is, for example, it is given to you A ratio B is this, B ratio C is this, then the combined ratio of A, B and C. Okay, this you have to find. Now see, how do you find this? A normal way can be that you see here AB and BC and then you write it in this form. What is this? A ratio B means I can write it like A by B is equals to 2/3. Correct. Similarly, B by C is equals to 3/4. Correct. This is how I can go. Then, but the thing is, this becomes a bit calculated. So what you can rather do is this. This is how you write combined ratios. So let's say A ratio B ratio C. Okay, now let's change this. Let's make this 5. Okay, so that this is not a direct replacement. Now 2:3 and 5:4. Now how do you do this? So whatever is written here, you just write below it. So you write it 2:3, and here what you will write, B ratio C 5:4. Fine. Now you have to fill these spaces. Correct. Then only you can write the ratio. Now how do you fill this space? By writing whatever is given in the neighboring part. Like here, what is given? 3 is given, so you write 3 here as well. Now if I have to fill this, what is the neighbor? Neighbor is just the immediate neighbor. Neighbor is 5, so I will write here 5. That's it. Now you just multiply them and you will get the combined ratio. So 2 5s are 10, 3 5s are 15 and 3 4s are 12. This is how you calculate combined ratio. What you have to do, you have to write whatever is given. Okay, let's say the question was of A, B, C, D. Okay, and then 2 ratios were given. Then you have to fill these two, and these two using what? Using the neighbor concept, and then you can just multiply all of them to get the combined ratio. Fine. Then the other way of asking the same combined ratio is this, which is 2A is equals to 3B is equals to 4C. Now this you may know intuitively. So if I have to write A ratio B ratio C, how I will write? 2A is equals to 3B is equals to 4C. What I can do, I can just make it equal to any constant. This you understand, because they're all equal, so I can equate them to any constant. Now instead of, okay, yes Meet, wait. Yeah. So now it is getting zoomed now. So 2a is equals to 3b is equals to 4c. Now I will equate it to, I can equate it to any number. So I will equate it to, let's say, their LCM. So I have 2 here, 3 here, 4 here. You can just multiply. 2 3s are 6, 6 4s are 24. Or if you know LCM, you know 2, 3 and 4 has an LCM of 12. So you can write here 12 or 24, does not matter. Once you equate it like this, then it becomes very easy. So it becomes 2a is equals to 12, 3b is equals to 12, 4c is equals to 10. Find the value of A, B, C like this, and it will give you the ratio. So A will come out to be 12 by 2, 6, B will come out to be 12 by 3, 4, and C will come out to be 12 by 4, 3. So A ratio, B ratio, C becomes 6 ratio, 4 ratio. Simple. Okay. This is combined ratio. Whether it is given in this form or in this form, you can calculate it. Then now let's see another concepts. Okay, these are certain note points that will be important for us when we solve word problems. Okay, now what you see here, what it is written here, 2 3 5 4, okay, these we'll be calling ratio points. So all these are called ratio points. These are not the exact value, correct? If I say I have twice the money that you have, so that means whatever money I have and you have, so I have twice of you, but we don't know the exact values, correct? This you understand? I don't know how much money you have or I have, correct? I just know the ratios. So that is why what we know here from whenever question tells something about ratios is only ratio points. Now you can actually use just these ratio points directly to solve the questions. See this. So ratio points can be directly equated. For example, if you got that the value of one ratio point came out to be 25, then what is the value of 4 ratio points? It is 100. This we'll be using again and again to find out in questions. That is, we will calculate, for example, eventually I got that 7 ratio point is equivalent to 21 rupees. Then the question is, what is 5 ratio points? So what I'll do, I will first calculate what is 1 ratio point equivalent to. So 7 ratio point is 21, that means 1 ratio point is 21 by 7, that is 3 rupees. Now if 1 is equals to 3, then 5 is equals to what? 5 is equals to 5 into 3, that is 15 rupees. This is another example. Understood? So this is how we keep using ratio points. Then the second thing, to convert ratios to values for equations, multiply a variable to it. For example, now it is given A ratio B is 2 ratio 3 and B ratio C is 4 ratio 5. Now what you can do, if I have to assume what is the value of A, what is the value of B, now always remember, if I have to assume values, I must add one variable to it. Otherwise, this is just ratio, correct? So I may have, for example, if I take 2 into 10 by 3 into 10, what is the ratio? This ratio is still 2 by 3, correct? So basically, any random number may have been multiplied in numerator and denominator that I don't know about, correct? That is why we always introduce a variable. So I will write A is equals to not 2 but 2x and B is equals to 3x. X is that variable. If you still take the ratio, it comes out to be 2 ratio 3. Similarly, for B ratio C, if I have to calculate, this is just one question. Then can I write B is equals to 4x and C is equals to 5x? If this is the same question? No. I cannot write like this. Why I cannot write? Because I have already used x. For every ratio, for each ratio, I must take different value. Otherwise, if I don't take a different variable, here b is 3x, here b is 4x, it does not make any sense. So what I'll have to do? I'll have to pick another variable. Any variable other than x, a, b, c, d, p, y, whatever. So here I can write b is equals to B is equals to 4y and C is equals to 5y. Now both of these are correct. Understood how we introduced variable? Just we have to add one variable to them, multiply one variable to them, making sure that for one ratio only you use that variable. If there is another ratio, you pick another variable. Then next, now let's get started with the questions. So it says a sum of 1300 is divided between A, B and C, A, B, C and D such that A by B's ratio is B by C ratios is equals to C by D ratio is equals to 2 by 3. Now you have to calculate, this is from UPPCS, what is A's share. Okay, so what you will do? See, so according to the question, A by B is equals to what? A by B is equals to what? 2 by 3. So this is 2:3. Then according to the question, B by C is also 2 by 3. And similarly, C by D is also 2:3. This you understand? Now, if I want to find out A's share, this sum of money is getting divided between all four of them. So I must get the combined ratio. So what will be the combined ratio? A ratio, B ratio, C ratio, D. What will be the combined ratio? So if this is 2:3, A ratio B is 2:3, then B ratio C is also 2:3, then C ratio D is also 2:3. See how I am writing it in sync, correct? Correspondingly, I am writing it. Now I have to fill the neighbors, correct? So what I'll fill here? What is the neighbor? 3. What is the neighbor? I will fill 2 here. This you understand. Now what should I fill here? Now you do have a neighbor here also. Even though I have entered it later, but now you do have a neighbor. So you will just put 3 here again. Similarly, 3 will come here again. Then here you have 2. So you will get 2 here again. And then now it has a neighbor. So this will be 2 again. Understood? So all of them that are on the left from this will be 2, 2, 2, 2. All of them that are right from here will be 3, 3, 3, 3. Correct? Now I can just multiply them to get the combined ratio. So what it will be? 2 2s are 4, 4 2s are 8. Then 2 3s are 6, 6 2s are 12. Then 3 3s are 9, 9 2s are 18. Then 3 3s are 9, 9 3s are 27. Do they have a common factor? Do they have a common factor? No, they do not have any common factor. Why I say so? Because it must be common in all of them. It is not that I can keep 8 as it is and cancel 3 from 3 of them. Not possible. It must be common in all of them. There is no such number. Okay, so you got this value. Now this is the combined ratio. Now hear carefully. So yes, Dheeraj. So if this whole thing that you see, that is A plus B plus C plus D, whatever is the sum of ratio points of A, B, C and D will be equivalent to what? Will be equivalent to 1300 rupees. This you understand? Correct. So I write here total ratio points is equals to whatever is the total money or total sum. Now what is the total ratio points? 8 plus 12 is 20. 20 plus 18. 20 plus 18 is 38. 38 plus 27 will be what? 8 plus 7 is 15. 5 here, 1 carry. 3 plus 3 is 6. What I get? Total ratio points is 65. So that means 65 ratio points is equivalent to what amount of money? 1300 rupees. Now as we did in the earlier example, this 7 ratio point is 21. Then we calculate 1 ratio point. From that we calculate whatever is asked. So now 65 ratio point is 1300 rupees. Then I just divide it. Can you see the division? Then 1 ratio point will be equivalent to what? 130 by 65. 65 2s are 130. So this is 1 ratio point being equal to 20 rupees. Is this the answer? No. What is the ratio point? What is A's share is the answer. So A in terms of ratio point is equivalent to what? A is equals to what? A is equals to 8. So it is asking you if 1 ratio point is 20, then 8 ratio point will be equal to what? 8 into 20, that is 160. Answer becomes A, 160. Yes, Meet. Correct. Yes, Dheeraj. Correct. Understood? Simple. Okay. So this is how you need to think that these many ratio points are there. What is the value of one ratio point? And from that, you calculate whatever is asked in the question. Understood? Now, let's see. Let's see this. A sum of rupees, this is distributed among X, Y, and Z in the ratio 1/2, ratio 3/4, ratio 5/6. What is the difference between maximum share and minimum share? Now, of course, most of you would know this, that a ratio can be multiplied by any number throughout. For example, if the ratio of something is 1 ratio, 2 ratio, 3, if I multiply all of them by 2, then it becomes what? It becomes 2 ratio 4 ratio 6. Isn't this exactly the same? Why? Because I can still cancel out it by 2, and this becomes 1, this becomes 2, this becomes 3. So basically, I can multiply the ratio by any number that I like, but I have to multiply it throughout. Then it won't change the ratio. Correct? Now, for example, that example I gave you, I have twice the money that you have. Now, I say that my money and your money is ratio 2 ratio 1. Now, instead of 2 ratio 1, even if instead of 2 ratio 1, even if I say 4 ratio 2, it's the same thing. Correct? I have just multiplied this whole thing by 2. Then, if you get this, now the question is what? Total sum is 2500. Fine. X, Y, Z are in ratio this. So that means X ratio Y ratio Z is what? It is 1/2, ratio 3/4, ratio 5/6. Correct? This is the ratio. Now let's calculate X, Y, Z. Let's multiply it with some number so that it becomes whole number throughout. Okay. So now I multiply it with, let's say, 12. Correct? I can see 6 here, 4 here, 2 here. So I feel like 12 will be a good choice. Okay. So now 12/2. 12/2, what you get? 6. Then 12/4 is 12/4 is 3, and 3 into 3 is 9. Then 12/6 is 2, 5 into 2 is 10. Can you feel this? Correct? This goes, if I show you 5 and 6, so this goes 1 time, this goes 2 times, 5 2s are 10. This is how you are getting it. Now, once you get this ratio, now this is much easier to deal with. What is the total sum of money? Total ratio points 6 plus 9, 15, 15 plus 10 is 25 ratio points. This 25 ratio point is equivalent to what? According to the question, a sum of 2500 is divided. So the total sum of money is equivalent to 2500 rupees. Correct? If I divide this, then 1 ratio point is equals to 100 rupees. If 1 is equals to 100, it is asking you what is the difference between maximum share and minimum share. What is the maximum share? Now don't look at this. This is gone. This world is gone. Now this is the ratio that we are dealing with. So entire question will be solved by this ratio only. Now, what is the maximum share? 10. What is the minimum share? 6. What is the difference? 10 ratio point minus 6 ratio point. 4 ratio point is the difference. Now, so 1 ratio point is 100, then 4 ratio point will be equal to what? 4 into 100, that is 400. Answer becomes C. Yes, Meet, correct. Yes, Shweta, correct. Okay. Now, so I think you are getting the feel of how you're using ratios. Now we'll up the ante. This is also a very simple logical question. There are some balls of red, green, and yellow color lying on a table. There are as many red balls, okay, as many red balls as there are yellow balls. I'm writing the variable by r and y only. Number of red balls is r, number of yellow balls is y. So r is equals to y. Then there are twice as many yellow balls as there are green ones. There are twice as many yellow balls as there are green balls. Correct? Whatever is the number of green balls, twice of that is what the number of yellow balls is. Now, if you just see these two equations, of course, the only conclusion that you get from this is y and y is common. So, in all probability, it must have eliminated y, and r is equals to 2g is what it would have given. That number of red balls is twice the number of green balls. Then the question is, the number of red balls is what? Number of red balls is double the number of green balls. Okay, very easy. You don't even need to read this. So you see this, you see these two equations, you know the conclusion would be this only. Okay, answer is B. Then, yeah, do this. This is not directly ratio, but very similar. You have to form equations. So it says a person has only 1 rupees and 2 rupees coins with her. So either it is 1 rupee coin, 1 rupee coin, or it is 2 rupees coin. Let's make 2 rupees little bigger. Just keep design to it. This is the 2 rupee coin. Then, if the total number of coins that she has is 50, okay, and the amount of money with her is 75, then the number of rupees 1 coin and rupees 2 coins respectively is what? So what you can assume that, let's say number of 1 rupees coins is x, number of 2 rupee coins is y. This is the number of coins, correct? For example, if I ask you to close your eyes and then count how many coins you have. So now, if you're just counting, you don't know which one is 1 rupee, which one is 2 rupee, but you can count the number of coins. Just by touching, you know, this is 1 coin, 2 coin, 3 coin, that much you can do. This is what he has done in the initial part. Total number of coins is 50. That means whatever is the number of 1 rupee coin plus number of 2 rupee coin is equals to 50. 10. Then this person opens his eyes and he says the amount of money with her is, sorry, it's a female, so the amount of money with her is 75 rupees. Correct? If this is so, how much money do you have? If I tell you you have x 1 rupee coins, so that much, how much? That means how much money? Whatever 1 rupees into x, correct? So ultimately x rupees only, correct? But if I tell you you have 5 2 rupee coins, that means what? 5 into 2 you will do, and you will say I have 10 rupees. That means here you will do 2 into y is equals to 75. Now you have the two equations. Okay, I'm writing this in better form, which is x plus 2y is equals to 75. This is the same equation. Now it is asking me what is the number of 1 rupee and 2 rupee coins. You can just subtract it, subtract it. X and x cancel out. Y minus 2y is minus y. 50 minus 75 is minus 25. Minus minus cancel. Y came equal to be 25. If you put it here, x plus y was 50. So x is also 25. Answer becomes D, 25, 25. Yes, D is correct. 25, 25. Then yeah, this is easy question. If you this you can do if you have learned, like of course if you know mathematics then it's fine, otherwise you have done ranking, correct? How we used to do ranking, similar is this. Think about it, tell me the answer. Now there are 3 points P, Q and R on a straight line, okay, such that PQ ratio QR is 3 ratio 5. Okay, if n is the number of possible values of PQ ratio PR, what is n equal to? That is how many values of n are possible. Now see, if this is the ratio of their lengths, I can assume them that the value of x, if I write 3x and 5x, x is 1. So I can assume that the length of PQ is 3 centimeter and the length of QR is 5 centimeter. Then I need to tell PQ ratio PR will be what? Correct? I can assume this safely. Now, see, one way of drawing this is this. This is P, this is Q, this is R. Very clearly, if you see them, they are on a straight line where this PQ is clearly of 3 centimeter length and this QR is of 5 centimeter length. Then what is the value of PQ by PR? PQ by PR will be what? PQ by PR will be, PQ is 3, PR will be 3 plus 5, that is 8. Correct? Then you have learnt in ranking that there can be a overlapping diagram also. So let me draw an overlapping diagram. Now see, if I draw a overlapping diagram, I say that here PQ is what? PQ is 3 centimeter. Correct? I'm satisfying this. Now I say I have drawn it in such a way that RQ or QR is equals to 5 centimeter. This is also a possibility. Correct? So that means in this case, if I write, then PQ by PR will be equal to what? PQ will be what? PQ is 3. Then PR is what? PR is what? PR is 5 minus 3, that is 2. Correct? So this becomes 3 by 2. Are they equal? No. They are unequal. So there are how many values possible? There are only 2 values possible. Now one question that you might have, why only 2? Because they are in a single line. So in a single line, either you can have this case or the overlapping case. These are the only 2 things possible. If you know, if you have read mathematics, this is actually, once a ratio is given to you, there is something known as internal bisection and external bisection. So for a single ratio, you have 2 possibilities. when it is bisecting it internally like this Q, or when it is bisecting it externally like this. So there are always two such values. Answer becomes B. Yes, Neelam. Good. Then, yeah, this is also a simple logical question. Think of it. Amount of money that ABC has, R, P, Q, R in ratio. A gets the maximum share if P is greater than Q plus R. Okay. C gets the minimum share if R is less than P plus Q. If you can't think of anything, just imagine values. Okay. Now, A, B, C are in ratio, P ratio, Q ratio, R. Now, it says A gets the maximum share if P is greater than Q plus R. Now, ultimately, A, B, C is, you can assume them to be equal to P, Q, R. Does not matter. The ratio will be same. The amount of money that A has, B has, C has. Now, it says if P is greater than Q plus R, so both of these combined, even greater is P. Then of course, A is getting the highest share, correct? Because if P is greater than Q plus R, where of course PQR are all positive, so all three of them, because this is something being distributed in real life, they're all positive. So that means this implies P is greater than Q also, and P is greater than R also. So this is fine. Then C gets the minimum share if R is less than P plus Q. Does this tell you anything? R less than P plus Q? Huh? No, it does not. Why it does not? Because, for example, let's say there is a mother and she has two children. Now, if I tell you the sum of weights of these children is greater than that of mother, this child is of 30 kg, this child is of 40 kg, mother is of 60 kg. So their sum may be greater, their sum may be greater than the mother, but both of them are actually smaller. Correct? So you don't actually get to know anything from this. Okay, so C gets the minimum share if R is less than P plus Q. No, you cannot tell this. Understood? Counter example is this only. Correct? Here the mother is less than children, the two children. That is, if I take this is R, this is P, this is Q, then very clearly R is less than P plus Q. But is R the least? No, actually the mother is the heaviest in this case. So you see a counter example as well. Second is wrong, answer becomes A. Then, yes, Dheeraj, correct. A student appeared in 6 papers. The maximum marks are the same for each of them. His marks are in the ratio 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Overall, he scored 60%. In how many papers did he score less than 60% of maximum marks? See, everything is 60, 60. Now, what you can do is, there are 6 papers, correct? This is like your 10th board exam only. So, I assume that each paper is of 100 marks. Paper is of 100 marks means what? We have done this in last class also. This means the maximum marks that can be obtained is 100 marks each paper. Now, so the total, total in his examination, whatever final examination, so total in his final examination, what is the maximum marks total for his final examination? This will be for 6 papers, 100 marks each. So this will be 600 marks. This you understand? 600 marks is the total marks for the entire paper. Now he scored, overall he scored 60%. That means what? So he scored how much in total? In total, how much he scored? 60% of this. You can calculate 60% now. So 60%, 60% of 600, 0, 0, 0, 0 cancel. 6 into 636 and 1 0. So this becomes 360. Correct? So this becomes 360. That means he scored 360 marks. If this is so, in 600 he got 360 marks. Let me write like this, like the teacher used to write. This much he got. Now these are his marks in different papers, and you have to tell in how many of them he scored less than 60% marks. Less than 60% means what? The paper is of 100 marks. Less than 60% means in which he got less than 60 marks. This is the only question. So I need to find what marks he got in each of the paper and how many of them are less than 60. Okay, now see how I do this. So I see here 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now sum total of all the ratio points will be equivalent to what? Whatever marks he obtained. Correct? Whatever marks he obtained will be sum total of this. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now I add them all. 5 plus 6 is 11, 11 plus 7 is 18, 18 plus 8 is 26, 26 plus 9 will be 35, 35 plus 10 is 45. So I write here 45 ratio point is equivalent to what marks he got. He got 360 marks. How many times this gets divided? 45 into 2, 90, 90 into 4, 90 into 4, 360. Remember the angles, clocks. Okay, so this goes how many times? 45 and 360. You can cancel it by 5 and then go also. This is 1 time, and this goes 8, and this goes 8 times. Correct? That means 1 ratio point is equivalent to 8 marks. Now see why this ratio point method works better. Now see, now 1 ratio point is equals to 8 marks. Now I can directly write how much marks he got in each of them, and I'm searching for less than 60. So now if 1 is equals to 8, 5 is equals to what? 8 5s are 40. Yes, this is the case I have to count. Then 8 6 are 48. Yes, this is still less than 60. I have to count this. Then 8 7s are 56. Again I have to count this. Why? Less than 60. Then 8 8s are 64. 64, is it less than 60%? No. So I don't have to count this. Similarly, these two will be even bigger, so I cancel them out as well. How many papers he got less than 60%? B, that is in 3 papers he got less than 60%. Yes, Shweta, correct. Yes, Meet, correct. Yes, Dheeraj. Yes, Neelam. Good, good, everyone. Now, next. Yeah. This can also be solved using just ratio points. See how. See how. Now, you tell me first thing, what is saving? Whatever you earn in life, whatever is your income, minus whatever you spend. So you spend, you have some daily spendings, monthly spending. After, from your income, expenditure is subtracted. What you get? You get savings. This you understand? Correct. So income minus expenditure is savings. Now see how I see this in terms of ratio points. See this. So the monthly incomes of X and Y are in ratio 4:3. So I write here X, I write here Y. So I am writing income. Income of them is 4:3. This is income of X and Y. Correct? Then next thing I write is their expenditure. Their expenditure is what? According to the question. However, the monthly expenses is 3:2. So this is 3:2. Correct? Fine till here. Now, tell me one thing. Tell me one thing. If I subtract these two, what do I get? Income minus expenditure is what? Income minus expenditure is what? Savings. Correct? Now, according to the question, it says, however, each saves rupees 6,000 per month. Now, so that means what is the difference between them in ratio points? 1 ratio point. This is 3 minus 2, 1 ratio point. Now, according to the question, how much they are saving? They are saving equal as it is written also. However, each saves 6,000. So in ratio also, it is showing that they are saving equal amount. What is that amount? According to the question, that is 6,000 rupees. This is the amount of savings each of them has. That means now the question is very easy. So if one ratio point is 6,000 rupees, then what is the total monthly income? That is asked. Total monthly income will be equal to what? Of X plus Y. Correct? This will be total monthly income. So that means 4 plus 3. So the question becomes, then what is 7 ratio points? If 1 is equals to 6,000, 7 is equals to 7 into 6,000, which is equals to 42,000 rupees. Do I have a 42,000? Yes. Answer becomes B. Actually, just the same question was asked. In that, it was asked, what is the salary of X and Y separately? This was asked in CSAT 2020, 2015. I have not kept that question because it's ultimately the same question. There, what you would have done, so 1 is equals to 6,000, income is 6 into 4. So the answer would have been, for X it was 24,000, 6 into 4, and for Y it will be 6,000 into 3. So that is 18,000 rupees. So asked twice, concept is the same. Yes, correct everyone, correct. Understood? Simple. Then let's see this. Now, so it says the total emoluments is same for two people, but one gets allowances to the extent of 65% of his basic pay and the other gets to the extent of 80% of his basic pay. The ratio of basic pay of former and latter. Very simple. The total emoluments are exactly same. Now, total emoluments will be equal to what? Whatever is their basic pay plus whatever are their allowances. This you understand? Basic pay plus allowances. Now, let's write. So both of them have equal. Emoluments. So I am writing here whatever is the total emolument for first person. What are their names? A, B, no, nothing. So let's call them A and B. So total emoluments for A and total emoluments for B. This will be equal to what? let's call them. Now I write here basic pay of A is, let's say, A, and now I add here what? I add here allowances. What is the allowance? What is the allowance? 65% of his basic pay. 65% of A will be what? How do you write this? Don't you remember that we write it like 0.65 A? Remember this from percentage? Correct? 65% of A will be 0.65 A. Simple. Similarly for B, it is the basic pay is, let's say, B, then, and 80% of his basic pay is his allowances. So this becomes 0.8 B. Correct? Fine till here. Now I just need to calculate A ratio B. So 1, this is 1 plus 0.65. This becomes 1.65 A is equals to B plus 0.8 is equals to 1.80 B. What I can do? I can very easily multiply both sides by 100. So the calculations are easy. This becomes 165A is equals to 180B. How many times this will go? If you know, this is from the table of 15 if you go beyond 10. If you don't see it, fine. Just try to cancel it with 15. This goes 1 time. With 30, this goes 2 times. This goes 1 time. With 1 remaining. With 15, it will go 1 time. What you got? 11A is equals to 12B. What you can do? You can send B here. You can send 11 here. What you get? A by B. 12 remains as it is. 11 will go and become divide. A by B is equals to 12 by 11. Answer is D. Yes, Runjun. Yes, Dheeraj. Yes, Shweta. Huh? No. No, not Shweta. Yes, Shweta. Okay, fine. Next. Yeah. Now what this question says? In a rare coin collection, there is 1 gold coin for every 3 non-gold coins. What is this? What is this? This is ratio of gold and non-gold coins. There is 1 gold coin for every 3 non-gold coins. 1 for every 3. Then 10 more gold coins are added to the collection. 10 more gold coins are added to the collection. Now, if I have to add 10, I have to write equations. So what I should do first? I should just multiply a variable to them. So this is not very nice. I do what? I say that number of gold coins, let it be 1 into x or x, and number of non-gold coins be 3x. Correct? Now, so I write it again. So this becomes gold ratio non-gold. This becomes x by 3x. Now, next thing is, now 10 more gold coins are added to the collection and the ratio of gold coin to non-gold coins become 1:2. So no change in non-gold coins, but 10 is added to the gold coins. So what the new ratio will look like? New ratio will be x plus 10. 10 more gold coins have added and there is no change in the number of non-gold coins. Correct? Now, according to the question, this new ratio is 1:2. Correct? You can solve very easily and find x. Yes. Now, so it becomes x plus 10 by 3x is equals to 1/2. Correct? Now, you just solve this. So this becomes what? You send 2 here. It becomes 2x plus 20 is equals to 3x. 2x you can send that side. X came out to be 20. Now, if x is equals to 20, it is asking you the total number of coins in the collection now becomes. What is this? This is not the original collection. So number of coins will not be x plus 3x is equals to 4x. This will be wrong. It is asking you number of coins in the collection now becomes. What is the collection now? Collection now is this. And what is it? 3x plus x, that is 4x. It is 4x plus 10. Now you put the value of x. X is equals to 20. So I put it here. So now I'm calculating 4x plus 10, x is equals to 20. I put here 4 into 20 becomes what? 80. 80 plus 10. Answer is 90, not 80. So A is the answer that you should be getting. Yes, Dheeraj. Good. Yes, Shweta. Good. Okay. So you had to be careful at the last step. Now, after this, we have certain questions in which there is mixing. There is milk and water and some mixing is there. Okay, those are still ratio based questions only. Very simply, we can do it by ratios. Then, let's see them. Yeah, this is the first question. Very simple. See, two glasses of equal volume are respectively half and three-fourth filled with milk. What this will look like? This is half filled by milk. This is milk. Okay, now the other one is three-fourth filled with milk. So they are of equal capacity. I'm drawing them approximately equal. So this is what? This is again milk. Correct? Now it says they are then filled to the brim by adding water. So now I add water. So I add water like this. So half is water here, here half is water, here 1/4 is water. Now it says the contents of this are poured in a vessel, in a big vessel. I poured this out. Now it is asking me what is the ratio of milk ratio water. Correct? So I take these two jars, I pour it in a big vessel, and it is asking me what is the ratio of milk and water. What you can do? Okay, you want, you can take it as 12, and then this is 6, this is 6, and similarly this also, or you can just directly add the fraction, whatever you please. So because they're of same volume, I can directly add them. I don't have to worry about anything else. So this is, what is milk? Milk becomes half is milk plus 3 by 4. Water becomes 1 by 2 plus 1 by 4. Simple. This becomes what? 4 comes out as the denominator. Then this is 2 plus 3, that is 5. And here what you will get? Again 4 is the denominator. 2 plus 1, 3. Of course 4 and 4 you can cancel out. Answer becomes 5:3. This is the ratio of milk to water. Answer is D. Yes, Dheeraj. So you don't have to do anything. If I tell you another method, so what you can do, if you see ratios like 1 by 2, 1 by 2, 3 by 4, 1 by 4, so what you can do, you can take their LCM. So you can assume that this is of 12 liters and this is also of 12 liters. Now you calculate what is the amount of milk and water. Now see, so I have done this 12 liter and 12 liter. How much is milk here? Half of this. So 6 liters of milk is here. Then 12 liters, 3 by 4 of this is 3 by 4 of this is 9. Correct? 3 by 4 into 12, 4 3s are 3 3s are 9. So this is 9. Then of course water is what? Water will be 3 liters, and here what will be water? Water will be half of this. This is 6. Now what is the ratio of milk to water? So milk to water will be milk plus milk. 9 plus 6 is 15, and water 6 plus 3 is 9. 15 and 3, 15 and 9 divided by 3, what you will get? 5:3. Whichever method you like, you can use it. Simple. Yes, Smith. Correct. Yes, Neelam. Yes, Dheeraj. Okay, then. Yes. Similar question. Let's do this. 1/3 and 1/4 full of milk. They are then filled up with water and the contents are mixed in a pot. What is the ratio of milk and water in the pot? Okay, this you understand. So basically, if these are of same volume, then if milk is 1 by 1/3 is milk, then what is the other part? 2/3 is water, correct? Here 1/4 is milk, then 3/4 is water. Now you can simply add the ratios. Okay, so milk ratio water, again milk and water in the pot is asked. So milk ratio water becomes what? It becomes, milk is what? Milk is 1 by 3 plus 1 by 4 ratio. Water is what? 2 by 3 plus 3 by 4. 1 by 3 plus 1 by 4 will be 12 is the LCM. 3 plus 4 is 7. Then here also 12 is LCM, but now 3 if you divide it goes 4 times, so it becomes 4 into 2, that is 8, plus 4 divided by 4 when divides 12 goes 3 times, so 3 into 3 becomes 9. So this becomes 7 by 12 ratio. 8 plus 9 is 17 by 12. 12 and 12 you can cancel. Answer becomes 7 ratio 7. As simple as that. Yes, Ranjan. Yes, Shweta. Simple. Okay. Then, by the way, though they have not asked, but if I can give you a hint. For example, if it was said that these containers are not equal, then what you would have done? So here it says two equal glasses, but let's say if it was given that this glass is actually 2 times of this glass, then what you do? Huh? Then what you do? You can just simply multiply whatever are the numbers here with 2 and whatever are the numbers here with 1. Correct? That will give me the answer. Or if you want to feel it more, then what you can do? You can assume the quantities or the total volume to be double here and half here. For example, I see again 3 and 4. So I assume that here I assume that this is a 24-liter water tank, sorry, 24-liter glass, and this is 12-liter glass, and then I solve it. Understood? So this is how you do if the volumes are not equal, though they have not asked like this till now. Understood? Then let me write this more clearly. If glass volume are in ratio 2:1, just multiply this ratio also, or take double volume for 1. Correct? This is the way if they ask. Now last question. Yes, Meet, correct. Last question, very simple. This is sugar and water being mixed. Do it. You can make a simple table also. In a 180 ml vessel. Okay, so basically you see ml here, you can consider it gram only because this is water, correct? So 30 gram sugar and 180 gram water, like this you have to consider. Okay. Then I write here sugar, water, ratio of sugar and water. So what is sugar? How much is sugar? 30 gram is sugar. Very good. Then how much is water? 30 grams of sugar was mixed in 180 ml of water. So water is 180. What is the ratio of sugar and water? 30 and 180, 1:6. Then next 40 grams of sugar, 280 grams of water. What is the ratio? 280 and 40, 1:7. This is sugar ratio water. Then last is 20 grams of sugar, and 100 grams of water. 20 and 100, what is the ratio? 1:5. Now it is asking you the solution in vessel B is. So basically, ultimately, what it will ask? It will ask you which is the sweetest, which is the least sweet, correct? So if I can just order it, ultimately sugar is for what? For sweetening the water. So ultimately, if I can order that which one is the sweetest, which is the least sweetest, that will give me the solution. Now I see here sugar is equal, sugar is equal, sugar is equal. That is like I say in all the water I put 1 spoonful of sugar. So I have 1 spoonful of sugar. Now if I pour 6 ml of water over it, will this be sweet? Or if I pour 7 liters, or if I pour 5 ml, which will be sweetest? Of course, the one with the least water, because sugar to same hai, sugar is same. So one with the least water will be the sweetest. So that means which is the sweetest? So if this was actually A, B, and C. So which is the sweetest? C is the sweetest. Then after C, what you have? 6 is the next lesser one. So then A and then B. This is the sweetness parameter. So what you will get? C, A and B, which is sweetest. So what can you tell about B? B is less sweet than that in C, because C is the sweetest. Understood? Yes. Smeet correct. Shweta, Dheeraj, everyone. Yeah. Good. Good. Okay. So that's it for this one. That is ratio and proportion. I'll see you in the next class. That's it. Thank you.